Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Do the Russians have or instituted a blockade in the Black Sea? And if yes, tell me how they said they will enforce it. Well, I don't think they named it a blockade because it doesn't fit the definition. So blockade is when you position your vessels, in this case in the Black Sea, and you do not allow vessels to go past through that. Is that what the Russians are doing and said they will do? No, that's not what they said they will do. That's not what they're doing. This is what they said they will do, and this is what they're doing. They say, that's why it's not a blockade, but all these idiots are using the name Russian Black Sea Blockade. That's a lie. Because the Russians did not institute a blockade. This is what they said they will do. We, the Russians, will inspect randomly whatever ship we consider needs our attention for military cargo, under suspicion of carrying military cargo towards Ukraine to pick up grain or whatever. So this is the only thing that they said. Sometimes we're going to inspect some. We take that right. We're going to think that we have the right to do it, and we will do it, and you can't do anything about it. This is what they said. They didn't say we're going to inspect and we're going to stop vessels from leaving Ukraine. I'm talking about commercial vessels. They never said that. It never happened. So the blockade is when you stop things to go through, and sometimes you let them go. That's a blockade, like the Americans did, if you remember, in Cuba, 1962, Cuban Missile Crisis. That's what they did. These are not doing that. These guys are not doing that. They said we're going to inspect ships suspected of carrying military cargo or just going only towards Ukraine. Nothing come out of it. So we have here again an article, and these guys again use the same blockade. There's no such a thing. That's a lie. And it's a not misinformation, because they know it. This is disinformation. That's actually lying. You use the wrong word for the action that actually occurs. So I'm playing football and you say I'm playing, basketball. So the New Voice of Ukraine, and they are obviously reporting this kind of normal course of events as, yes man, we broke the blockade. Not a blockade, not a big deal. As I tell you, man, I went to the grocery store today. Wow, am I not good? Yeah, nobody stopped me. The military did not interrogate me. They didn't want to board me. Nobody is supposed to do that anyway. So what are you talking about? In your mind, in your fantasies. So cargo ships with Ukrainian metallurgical products they break through Russia's Black Sea blockade. How did they do it? I think they just rammed the military vessels of the Russians over there, sitting like this. Don't you think? Yeah. Now, if that were to occur, I would say, yeah, man, that's how you breached it. But it didn't happen. The Russians said, "Do svidaniya," or whatever, see you never. See, breached Russia's Black Sea blockade. Breach shit, because it was nothing to breach. But they like it. Remember, they left Ukraine going to the world, which the Russians had no problem with that one. So let's see. 3 more cargo vessels, this time carrying Ukrainian metallurgical products, have breached a Russian naval blockade of Ukrainian Black Sea ports. Metallurgical Enterprises holding company Matinvest said in a press release on September 4. But how did they breach it? I would like to know, what exactly did they do that they fooled those guys there? They bullied them? What exactly? And there's not going to be anything of that kind in this article. I guarantee you. They will say, we didn't meet any Russian vessels around. The cargo ships Primus, Anna Teresa, and Ocean Courtesy, which had been they were trapped in Ukrainian ports since February 24, 2022, have now left the ports of Odessa and Pivdeni. Why? There are the second, third, and fourth ships to leave Ukrainian ports after Russia withdrew from the grain deal that allowed Ukraine to export crops from 3 of its Black Sea ports. Okay, how did they breach it? What did the Russians do to prevent you leaving? The ships are carrying Ukrainian blah blah blah, tralala, lululu. Okay, the Ukrainian metal and iron ore concentrate, nothing here. The breach I'm quoting, the breach of the Black Sea Blockade by ships carrying Ukrainian is a historic moment. Who the fuck wrote this? An idiot. The project office of the CEO of Mati Invest Group. It's a historic moment, man. I went to the grocery store today and came back safe. These guys let me leave my house. By ships carrying Ukrainian steel in a historic moment, the first step towards the full unblocking of maritime exports for the entire range of Ukrainian products. They are just the trailblazers, like Vasco da Gama, like Christopher Columbus, like, these guys, explorers. And so that's what happened with this idiot. Said Alexander Vodovis, head of the project office of the CEO of the as a result of what? Of breaching that. They didn't tell you what happened because nothing happened. It will lead to the accelerated recovery of the Ukrainian economy through our historic push, which has suffered enormous losses, including due to the illegal blockade of the Ukrainian ports by Russia. I think the ports were blockaded. I tell you why. The Ukrainians placed, if you remember, in the water some little things called mines. Remember? Why? Because they were afraid, for the good reasons, logical reasons. I'm like Bernie Sanders now, okay? For the Russian landing. So it was a lot of mines, sea mines, water mines, laid in the water in Black Sea. By whom? By the Ukrainians. That's why these guys did not go any fucking way. And I don't hear anything. Do you think that if the Russians wanted to stop those 2 ships or 4 ships of this idiot, what do you think they would have done? Picking my nose here on the camera. Huh? They would have stopped it. Came over and say stop, like they did with that the other vessel, if you remember. The full unblocking of the ports for all types of goods will allow Ukraine not to because of us. Yes, a Ukrainian with jobs, stable incomes for their families. Vodovis right now is knighting himself. He puts a medal on his chest that he never earned. We breached the Russian blockade. We are trailblazers. You're shutting hyena right here. Russia is ready to consider resuming the grain deal. All right, my friends. This is how some people are delusional. And if people don't know that they did not, what a blockade is, what the Russians said they will do, what the Russians did and do, what exactly is the situation, or not exactly, most likely the situation is over there, they understand this guy's a weasel. And he's high up. The weasel high up. I met this kind of people, speaking in generalities and, lying by omission and so on. And thinking that you don't know what's going on. And they claim everything because they say, hey, he doesn't know, he can't speak, let's say, Romanian. So I will say, oh my God, Emil speaks Romanian fluently. Why? Because you don't know shit. That's why. If you would speak Romanian, you can assess how much Romanian I can speak, or French, or other things. I can use, a few phrases, a few, statements in French, in German, in whatever language, in Japanese. All right, and I can say "watashi wa," okay, and I say, "Oh my God, he speaks Japanese, man," because you don't know anything about it. You don't know how much I know. You can't assess. The same here. This guy knows that most people don't know what's going on. If you're going to say blockade, yeah, they're blockading over there. But people like you and I know this guy's a weasel. Weasel alert. Children, cover your ears. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.